on here in North Florida. Look at the skyline of Tampa, and we have been spoiled right next door here in Plant City by fight after fight that could be fight of the year candidates because it's red hot outside. We are spoiled in that it is another red hot division here in our main event, but we get started out. Brandon McCarthy versus Ryan Schwartzberg. He was an Olympic hopeful. He was sidelined by an injury. The Irishman looking to take that out on his 21 veteran opponent tonight. His name is, that's right, Blast. Darrelle Valsaint. Speaking of Olympics, he represented Haiti in the Olympics. Great hands, power 10-0, but his opponent, Pachino Hill, this is the 7th time he is facing an undefeated opponent. He's looking to play the spoiler tonight. And as we say, someone's O has got to go 6-0. Both of these fighters, Abel Gonzalez, a good jab, but really a power puncher on the outside and inside, looking for the finish. His opponent, Stanton, has waited 2 years for this opportunity. He's looking to make the most of it here on the ProBox stage. And in our main event, Guido Schramm taking on Vladimir Hernandez. Schramm, tricky, awkward, a great boxing style, looking to land power punches against Vladimir Hernandez, who always brings the pressure and the volume. Welcome inside the ProBox TV studios here, of course, in Plant City. It is Argentina versus Mexico in our main event. It's important here. I have an Argentinian to my left, and, you know, close enough, right? From Brooklyn. You know the champs, Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi. Look, you want an opponent you can beat up on short notice. It's going to be easy work. Don't pick Vladimir Hernandez, right?
No, that's not the guy. That's not the guy. You know, I've called a bunch of his fights before. I've been watching him for years. He has fought top-level opposition and knocked some of them off. He's beaten top prospects. He's beaten former world champions. He's got an engine. He's one of those guys who pushes the pace, makes for an action fight, and I don't care if it's on short notice. The guy's always in shape.
Yeah, Guido Schramm, we've seen him before here on ProBox. Awkward style, but you said it, Jim. He lands power in tricky ways you don't necessarily see. Is that his key tonight?
Yeah, he sets it up. He sets it up in awkward ways, throws off your timing, and it's sort of like he's at best when his timing is throwing off your timing, and he's creating those awkward, weird openings. Only thing is, Vladimir Hernandez isn't really the guy you want to have the replacement opponent, right? So all this awkward stuff tends to work well for Schramm. I'm curious if it's going to work on a guy like Hernandez, who says, timing be damned, I'm just going to go right at you. So should be an interesting clash of styles tonight.
And Hernandez has the experience advantage, you could argue, in terms of talent level, and he's never fought intimidated. Are you expecting that kind of phone booth fight tonight?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a reason they took this fight. I'm sure they knew he was in the gym. I'm sure he's in shape. He understands what the ProBox platform is. Every fighter who comes here knows that now. We've made quite a reputation for ourselves. You know you're going to have to fight when you come here. So I'm expecting gangbusters in the final, in the main event.
Does Schramm have the power to knock off or back up the volume puncher in Hernandez?
You know, he's going to have to find it in some spots. He's going to have to also be tricky enough to where that awkward movement sets up some surprise shots. Maybe not concussive power, but at least shock power to where Hernandez has to at least subtly slow down the pressure just enough. If he can get Hernandez to slow down the pressure just enough, he's going to have enough comfort to move at least in some spots and be comfortable.
Yeah, Jimmy, Schramm's going to have to get respect, but then also use that great lateral movement that he has. He's very athletic. He's got that awkward movement, but he's got a little pop. Like you said, he can be tricky with those shots. If he can get Hernandez on his back feet a little bit and then use that good movement that he has, he's got a shot.
If you don't, though, man, it could get ugly. It could get ugly. And that's not to say Schramm can't win that kind of fight, but he's going to have to then be involved in the kind of fight he doesn't want to be involved in.
Well, to start with, one thing ProBox has that a lot of places don't is an Irish fighter that shows up. Oh, too soon? Too soon? Brandon McCarthy showing up.
I just got that.
Yeah, you did. Olympic. He had Olympic aspirations. Just in case. At Olympic aspirations, an injury kept him out of the Olympics. His first fight, 2 rounds long. He's been taking it out on his opponents. Can he step up against an opponent who has 21 pro fights? That is the question here. You see the height, approximately the same. The reach, approximately the same. It's the age and talent that's the difference here.
And dude, I'll tell you, Schwartzberg fights. He's don't look at his record on paper. He shows up to fight. He ain't the talented guy, but he's gonna fight. He fights.
I don't care who you are. It's a tough second fight.
Yeah.
And we'll send it up to the ring. Jim Sorensen will get us started for our first fight of the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ProBox TV and our evening broadcast of your Wednesday night fights. This first round on TV tonight will be 6 rounds in the super lightweight division. And your judges for this fight, Joe Ware, Tito Wilgo, and Braden Jackson.
Hello.
And The referee in charge of this evening's bout, Christopher Young. First and foremost, introducing to you, first fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the black and gold trunks. He weighed in at 140 pounds even. He is a veteran of 21 professional fights from Dania Beach, Florida. Please welcome Ryan the Lion Schwartzberg. And his opponent across the ring wearing the black and white camouflage trunks. He weighed in at 139.2 pounds. He is undefeated in his young career. His record, 1 professional victory. He won it by knockout from Los Angeles, California, by way of Kilkenny, Ireland. Please give it up for the former Irish national champion, Brendan McCarthy.
Red corner, blue corner. All right, gentlemen. Got the legal right here, okay? You see the section of dressing room. It's been a tough, clean fight. And my commands of all time, protect yourselves all the time. Touch them up. Let's go.
And we are about to get underway. Brandon McCarthy of Kilkenny, Ireland, training out of Los Angeles, California. Heartbroken, had an injury that kept him out of the Olympic trials, but a very decorated amateur.
Look when you're ready. Bam!
And I can't wait to see this Ryan Schwartzberg. You said you're a big fan, champ. You said the record doesn't indicate how this guy fights.
This guy shows up to fight every time. He entertains. He pulls off a couple of upsets. On our area, he's 1-0-1 as a
1-0-1. He has one win. Both upsets are undefeated fighters, so the guy comes to fight.
Yeah. He goes, even a draw is an upset when you have this record.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
So he does well on ProBox. McCarthy, though, highly touted. Let's see. Again, a little bit of a difficult proposition for your second pro fight. Schwartzberg not only is a bit of a spoiler, but he's also, a veteran. 20 fights. Chen, would you say before we went off the air, he's got more fights than anybody on this card?
He has 21 fights. Our main event fighters both have 20 apiece. Ryan Schwartzberg has more fights than everyone else on this card, and he's done it in only a couple years. Very, very active fighter.
And McCarthy in the black and white, Schwartzberg in the black. And McCarthy, one thing he had to live with for years was, this guy's a surefire Olympian. He's going to carry the flag of the amateur team for Ireland. He said he lived with that pressure for a long time, and now he's kind of free of it now that he's a pro.
Well, he's looking very, very sharp here. He's got no fat on these punches. Nice snappy jab. Nice good counter right hand. He's landed a few of those already. Good judge of timing.
You guys say it all the time. You can tell the amateurs, the seasoned amateurs, from their technique, right? That they picked up the lessons in the amateurs, and you pick up the power as a pro. That's a nice right hand.
The high-level amateurs, they always have great vision, and you can see that here with McCarthy. He's seeing the shots, seeing the openings, seeing every reaction that Schwartzberg has to the feints, to the punches, whether they're high or low. Nice dig to the body there by McCarthy.
Schwartzberg has to be careful with the right hands. He's taken 3 in a row. The last 3, and that's 4 in a row now. He's got to start doing a better job of seeing the right hand coming.
Talk about that awareness. Beautiful job getting out of the way of that left hook.
That's one of the things when you're a guy like Schwartzberg, he doesn't have the natural ability. He's not, he's not twitchy in his athletic talent. Hand position becomes really important. Keeping that left hand up, champ, like you said, to stay away from that right hand is probably going to be his best bet here.
Yeah, he's not reacting to it, so best bet is hand positioning. I like the subtle body work there by McCarthy as well.
McCarthy's looking very, very seasoned here in round 1 for. Only been 2 rounds as a pro thus far, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, 2 rounds as a pro. Won his first fight by knockout in round number 2. That was an absolute destruction. It was here in the United States. Did not make his pro debut in Ireland.
He's solid fundamental, I tell you. He picks his shots well. He's a bit of athleticism behind the style, too.
And good balance. Very, very good balance. You can see he's generating power in these shots.
He's got some natural talent to him, too.
He's been boxing since he was 6 years old. See that in his stance. You guys can see it in his technique.
And you see that right there. Shot that sharp jab and then came back around with a hook at Schwartzberg.
10 seconds, gentlemen.
Off of that jab. Sees a lot.
So far, a great first round from the highly touted amateur from Ireland.
Shoot it down to set it up to the head, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you drive
the hook is going to be there. Roll it out, don't stay in front of him. Keep using your feet, nice and loose, off that shot, okay?
50, you need to move your car.
Edolin in the corner right now. Once again, the highly touted amateur Brandon McCarthy, only his second pro fight so far, looking outstanding in round number 1. Trying to home for his power punches. That is key when you make that transition to the pros. You guys know that very, very well.
Seconds out.
All punches are not created equal. All right, underway, round number 2. Now, gentlemen, is this the kind of thing where you know, if you're in McCarthy's corner, if you're his people, you want him to get some rounds, get some minutes, or it's like, hey, you get the opportunity to finish this guy? Because he's done well with the power shot so far.
I mean, you don't get paid for overtime, so and things can happen, especially with an awkward guy like Schwartzberg. You know, you don't want to deal with any head clashes or elbows or things like that. He's one of those guys. He's going to push. He'll make it ugly if he needs to try and win. So you don't want to take extra time with a guy like him.
Yeah, Schwartzberg can make it dirty, he can make it rough, and he's going to hang around. So if you start to look for the knockout when it's not there, it's kind of like a home run hitter trying to hit a home run instead of letting the swing just take its stride on its own. I think that's what McCarthy has to do here tonight, and I think, you know, he's doing it very well thus far, because it can get rugged with Schwartzberg if you allow him to fight the way he wants to fight.
You're seeing it already. You've seen Schwartzberg, you know, scraping the body with some of those like looping shots on the inside. Actually dodged a right hand there, did Schwartzberg. A little adjustment from round 1.
Yeah, I don't think Schwartzberg is definitely going to lose a fight where he's going to be out desired, but he just gets out skilled, and that's sort of what we're seeing from McCarthy here, just very, very skilled.
McCarthy very philosophical about this fight. He said, you know, I shifted my ambitions from being an amateur to being a pro. It's been a healing process, letting that go and knowing I'd have to be a great professional.
Very, very wise words from a young man to look at it that way.
Dreamed about the Olympics his entire life, had an injury, kept him out of the trials, but...
And you have to have that mental approach as a fighter. I mean, you've got to understand how the goals and know how to compartmentalize the goals properly in your head.
A few moments ago, Schwartzberg switched southpaw, and McCarthy hit him with a nice check hook, which is a great weapon against the southpaw. He saw the adjustment immediately. He saw the switch in stance immediately, and then made an adjustment with that left hand.
Gentlemen, one of the questions we always ask guys is who are you sparring with? Who are you getting work with to get ready for a fight? Nobody spars like Schwartzberg. It's almost like the better your sparring partner is, the harder it is to get ready for a guy like this, right?
Yeah. And also, I think McCarthy being in LA, you know, you're noticing a lot more and more of these Irish prospects. They used to come around to the East Coast. Now you're starting to see more and more of them on the West Coast. You know, I think the second half of my boxing career, I noticed that was where all the sparring was starting to head over to.
Oh, you did too. Yeah, I did as well. I got out of New York pretty quick. New York's a really hard place to be an up-and-coming boxer.
I just think it's hard to afford at this point, yes. So you don't see as much work going there anymore. You see them going to different states.
I got to tell you, as a Southern California native, running on the beach is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's another thing. New York winters are brutal.
You know what? We're in Florida, guys. I mean,
LA, you got to run in a hoodie at most in the winter out there. So far, good stuff. Excellent technique. Good combinations from McCarthy.
And I will say one thing about you.
Best shot of the fight. Clean knockdown in round number 2.
I think Schwartzberg's legs were
Stepped
in.
Hard jab.
7, ready to go, champ. Hey,
he actually landed a nice right hand himself right before that, and then got stuffed with a jab as his feet were all over the place. Good right hand.
Don't get careless, all right? Don't get careless. Breathe. Good. That's nothing. That's nothing. Breathe. Yeah, that's nothing. Breathe. Breathe. Listen. Off that shot. Set everything off the shot. Hit it. When you shoot that hook, right? You catch it with the hook. Bring that short right hand to the middle, and then roll under. Don't stay in front of him.
There is reason for excitement in the corner of Brandon McCarthy, and here's why.
Yeah, but did we see that little right hand that Schwartzberg landed, and then as he was stepping through, nice stiff jab.
His left leg was off the ground.
But like I mentioned, the balance of McCarthy, you saw he had his feet underneath him for that jab. So even though Schwartzberg was off balance, he was still stuck on his butt.
Luck is where preparation meets opportunity, right? His feet were prepared to land a good punch. That's why we saw that knockdown. We begin round number 3.
Yeah, that's why you also shouldn't cross your feet when you get closer, right? Because you get hit like that. You know, it can cause a balanced knockdown.
McCarthy in the black and white. Outstanding Irish amateur in his second professional fight. In the black, it is Ryan Schwartzberg, much more experienced, 21 pro fights.
Blood from the nose of McCarthy.
Man, that stick, that left jab has just been on point tonight.
Yeah, very, very sharp. And he started unveiling that immediately in round 1. That's what you want to see from an up-and-coming fighter and someone who keeps going back to it as well. Oh, good right hands.
One of the steps up from the amateurs is you learn how to land with power. You're not hitting for points, you're looking to knock your opponent down, and he is so far doing that, throwing with power.
No. Stop.
But that's another thing about Schwartzberg. He's a very durable guy. He's gone rounds with very, very good fighters, good punchers. So it might be a little bit of a misnomer here that so far Schwartzberg is standing up to these shots, because these look like heavy blows.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying I don't know if Schwartzberg's the guy to search for the knockout against. You know, you just try to get your rounds. If you get a stoppage, it's great, but if you don't, you know, they're key rounds against a guy who's durable, tough, and continues to make you work. That's what McCarthy's doing.
Remember what I mentioned about you don't want to go rounds with this guy if you don't have to. Now you're seeing blood from the nose of McCarthy. Looks like he's got a little abrasion on the top of it.
Watch your head, watch your head, watch your head.
We're only halfway through a 6-round fight. Remember, if there's a weakness to McCarthy's style, it's only been 2 rounds so far. Don't know how he does late in even a 6-round fight.
And Schwartzberg has been a guy to show that he has a good engine. He goes hard in later rounds. He brings it.
Chris, you talked to me about that. I said, why don't a lot of great amateurs transition to the pros? And they go, there's a difference between, the number of rounds you have to fight. It is different. Your energy has to be different. Your endurance has to be different.
3 threes, yep. Is very, very different from 12 threes, 10 threes, or 8 threes.
Yeah, you have to budget your energy differently, so you have to fight a little bit differently in terms of energy burning.
Yeah, you can't sprint for 12 rounds.
Don't forget to join us again June 28th. Title fight here on ProBox TV.
Getting messy for McCarthy. Now that blood is kind of spreading all over his face.
And also, as a young professional, you're seeing this for the first time, right? You're dealing with this adversity for the first time, probably.
Yeah, in a pro ring. I mean, you know what? In the amateurs, you can get nosebleeds and it can happen, but nonetheless, you're still getting used to the pros. Everything's still, getting your feet wet, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm sure with as much amateur experience that McCarthy has, I'm sure he's seen just about everything you can see in the amateur ring. But like you said, Jimmy, the pros are different. Little gloves, take the headgear off.
10 seconds, Jimmy, 10 seconds.
Oh, good 1-1-2 from McCarthy right over the top.
Good power punching from the young Irishman. We're halfway through this 6-round fight. It's what you want to see a little bit, gentlemen, right? A little bit of adversity. How are you going to deal with it, kiddo?
Yeah. And also, you know what it is? You like to see that he's not breaking stride as far as, the approach to the fight. He's continuing to have the disciplined approach to the fight continuously.
Hey, Lamont Roach Jr. versus Fergal McCrory. It's going to be outstanding for the WBA Super World Featherweight title. Friday, June 28th. Get your tickets now at the Entertainment and Sports Arena, Washington, D.C. Can't wait for that one, gentlemen.
Yeah. Speaking of Irish, Fergal McCrory, another undefeated Irish guy challenging for his world championship. Roach, first defense.
Technique and aggression on display in round number 3.
That was that double jab right hand you're talking about, champ.
Exactly right at the end of the round. Really nice shot set up by the jab. And you mentioned, champ, even though he's seeing adversity, he's still sticking to what got him here. He's using that double jab. He's sticking with the jab. He's going high. He's going low. I like what I see so far from McCarthy, even under duress.
Looks like a little cut maybe around the left eye of McCarthy in the black and white, taking on Schwartzberg in the black. Ryan Schwartzberg has hung tough so far. I haven't given him any rounds, but he's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, and that doesn't really look like he's going to go away either.
Now he's got a reason to stay. He's seeing blood. His nickname is the Lion. The Lion's seeing blood. You can see it spurred him on a bit. Oh,
nice sharp right.
But Schwartzberg landed a little hook right before that as well. He's trying to work on that blood on the face of McCarthy, trying to gain that confidence. Another straight left hand from Schwartzberg on McCarthy.
Schwartzberg awkward, a lot of stance switches. It cost him with the knockdown, but also makes his offense sometimes difficult to see.
That's a great point, Jimmy, because it looked like that was a straight left hand, but he's an orthodox fighter. But he steps through into that southpaw position.
That jab caught him by surprise, wasn't quite ready for it.
But look at the head movement adjustments with Schwartzberg. He's starting to read those right hands, and he's rolling with them. Whereas in the first round, he ate about 6 of them.
Schwartzberg would love to play the spoiler tonight. Much more experience and more blood flowing out of the nose of McCarthy. You want a tune-up, ProBox TV is not the place to get it.
And we find the rough records that can still fight. You know? So records can be deceiving here on ProBox.
Yeah, Champ, we were talking about that off air. You look at a guy like Schwartzberg, you're like, oh, 4-14-3. This guy's going to get blown out. Nope, has never happened on our air.
Yeah, rarely do my broadcast partners go, no, I'm a fan of this guy. Yeah, I think he's great.
Well, he's a local boy, too.
He's fun.
He's a local boy. You know, he got an ovation here. You know, you don't normally see that from a fighter with 14 losses, but...
And also, he's on ProBox because we know he's going to bring it in any fights, you know?
That's the reason why we keep entering him back. Ooh, good exchange of hooks there. McCarthy got the better of it.
McCarthy's volume, though, gone down significantly here in round number 4.
Still has that sharp jab, though. He should be more consistent with it, if anything, especially with the blood on his face, man. Throw the ability of Schwartzberg to touch you away by continuously jabbing at him.
And it's not been a pawing jab. It's been a stiff jab, very, very hard.
Yeah, everything's been solid.
Yeah, very good. You just want to see it a little bit more consistent on the part of McCarthy. Sometimes he waits on it. There's Schwartzberg with some roughhouse tactics again. Veteran tactics.
MMA background, martial arts.
We call it a pancake in wrestling.
Is that like a
guy
frame?
But also,
framed up?
but also he's showing his physical strength there. Yeah. Schwartzberg is a he's an awkward guy. He's not a big puncher, but he's physically strong.
And also, we talk about all the time man strength.
Man strength.
Get to your late 30s, you just get strong.
Let him go. Watch your right hand. Let him go.
Box a brawler, you brawl a boxer. So far, Schwartzberg trying to make it a brawl.
Schwartzberg's brawling with everybody.
I mean, it's all he's got. That's what he does.
Do what you know, and so far he knows enough to have stayed in this fight.
You see a Florida guy with a mullet. You know what? This guy's gonna come to fight.
Yeah.
Change his nickname to Florida Man instead of Lion.
Been entertaining so far. Decorated amateur, the national champion in Ireland, has had to kind of dig into his bag of tricks a bit. Working on that nose, trying to keep that thing from bleeding. You see a little swelling around the left eye. Looks like a minor cut there right next to the nose.
Yeah, it looks like a small little mouse over that left eye. Could be from a clash of heads. It could be from a nicking right hand. Just trying to see if there was any kind of cut. It doesn't look like it. Just blood from the nose.
And also, one thing about Irish fighters, man, they show damage.
Yeah.
They're just pale. They just show a lot of damage.
Well, you're sitting next to two guys who are very similar, who showed a lot of damage very easily.
There's that frame from Schwartzberg.
Exactly. In jiu-jitsu, that's perfect. But boxing, on its way.
You know what? Yeah. You know what it is? It also psychologically try to break you. You know what I mean? Just being rough. You know, it'll especially you're fighting a young fighter. Maybe that rough stuff was to get in his head. You know, this is all good experience for McCarthy, who's still handling the fight, navigating his way through the fight well, and winning the fight.
Well, he's not losing his technique. I'm very impressed with that from McCarthy thus far. He's sticking to that jab. He always goes back to it. He's still snappy. His conditioning looks good. I like how he comes right back, too. Whenever Schwartzberg does touch him with something, McCarthy comes back with something hard.
Nice right hand. I tell you what, he's not missed a lot of right hands tonight.
No. Very, very sharp. There's no fat on that punch.
Oh, sharp little left hand for Schwartzberg. I think the quick, sudden change of stances also kind of throws off McCarthy a little bit defensively. That's why he's been hit a little bit more than he wants to as well.
Or unorthodox goes with unpredictable, and that's what Schwartzberg brings to the table.
That's kind of what we were talking about earlier, right, Jimmy? Where you talk about good sparring doesn't help you against a guy like this because you're used to more traditional punches coming your way. Schwartzberg's anything but traditional.
I got asked about, one of the first questions I got asked after the Pacquiao fight. They were like, "What was the most difficult part about fighting Manny Pacquiao?" And I said, "Preparing for Manny Pacquiao." Yeah. There's no one who spars like him or fights like him.
Yeah, styles can be unique to themselves sometimes.
Yeah, we need a jumping bean with lightning speed. You have one of those in your camera?
That is bricks. That is bricks of hands. Nice back to that double jab. I would like to see more of that from McCarthy. Just kind of monitoring the distance, keeping Schwartzberg on the outside because he has no answer for this range right here.
But when we talked about Fury Usyk, when we broke it down, you talked about how tiring it can be to move and jab at the same time. That's why Fury kind of got away from the jab. Could be a similar thing here, just doesn't have the gas to throw it consistently.
But I think with McCarthy, he can actually draw a line in the sand because his jab is sharp enough, his balance is good. It's not like he's circling around the ring the way Fury was.
But you see, right hand. Schwartzberg's landing some clean shots too, though. And again, it could be due to the awkwardness of Schwartzberg, but he's not landing as much as McCarthy. Good shot there from McCarthy. Nice right hand.
Schwartzberg.
Schwartzberg briefly off balance from that right hand, and McCarthy trying to take advantage of it.
Watch you out of that. Let him go.
Also, Schwartzberg, one of those guys, he just wears damage well. He doesn't look like he's taking a lot of punches.
No, he's a very durable, rugged guy.
Sometimes you ask yourself, you land power punches, you go, man, are these even working?
Yeah.
You know, you start thinking that way, right?
He's got a look of a little Bodie from Point Break at the moment with the sweaty mullet. And
Someone's got to say, I am an FBI agent. Someone says, it's going to be me. It's great right hand from McCarthy.
And those are the reasons.
Good body shot from McCarthy as well, right hand.
See, those sequences like that, those are the reason McCarthy's still winning the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Sit down, put your hands down, put your hands down. You got this fight real close. You gotta man the fuck up, bro. Man the fuck up. Last round. You got this. Last round, you gotta let it all out, man. Hey, listen. Last round, let it all out. Last round, don't leave it for tomorrow, bro.
Last round, pick him up, last round.
Listen, he don't want it, bro. He don't want it.
Welcome back. About to begin the 6th and final round. Pro tip, finish round strong, right, champ?
Yeah, McCarthy had something. He started the round strong. He's finished the round strong. Schwartzberg found some success in the middle of the round, but the end was dominated by McCarthy. There was a good body shot there as well. In this middle distance here, McCarthy is king. Schwartzberg doesn't really have an answer there.
He has hung in here till round number 6 by making it awkward, changing the rhythm, changing the stance a bit. When it comes to traditional boxing and the punches, it has been Brandon McCarthy out of Kilkenny, Ireland that's done the best work. Let's talk about the similarity to Bodie. Great quote from him, fear causes hesitation. Hesitation will cause your worst fears to come true. One thing about Schwartzberg, he hasn't hesitated in this fight. He's been in it to win it.
His nickname is the Lion for a reason. He's fearless. He'll take any fight, stays in shape, stays in the gym, will fight anybody, and he makes it entertaining. But tonight, he's got a kid in front of him that is just too sharp, too skilled, too smart. Impressed with the conditioning of McCarthy as well. Here we're in round 6. Still looks snappy. Still looking to do damage. Oh, nice 1-2.
McCarthy trying to finish strong here. He's trying to take the fight to Schwartzberg.
Oh, great uppercut.
Good vision there from McCarthy. He's trying to create new punching angles.
Knocked him down earlier, but that was really an off-balance punch.
Remember, only his second pro fight. This is the 6th round. Very impressive start.
That was a fantastic uppercut. We heard that ringside.
And he's had that reset tendency, right, champ, where even when he's had Schwartzberg hurt, he hasn't really tried that hard to finish him. Hasn't been willing to go off balance to try to go for the finish.
Well, you got to know what you have in front of you, and I think he does. I think he realizes Schwartzberg is a durable guy. He's in good condition. He's still dangerous with the awkward punches that he throws, the ruggedness on the inside. But I think at this point, he's really beating the Lion down. He's controlling the distance really well. And now you're starting to see Schwartzberg start to hesitate. Pawing with the shots now.
Still sticking with that snappy jab there. And good head movement at close range as well, you know. Sometimes when McCarthy does get it, it's more so maybe a lack of concentration or even the awkwardness of Schwartzberg has opened up shots, because really McCarthy has a solid boxing style.
And that awareness you guys talked about that you develop in the amateurs, he's had that throughout this fight.
Yeah, he's kept it. Even under duress, even when he was bleeding from the nose and Schwartzberg was being awkward, he still stayed within himself.
Yeah, and you talk about the awareness. Notice every time he throws a right hand, he gets his head off center afterwards. Whether he lands it or misses it, he's had his off center. He's not getting there for the counters.
This is one of those fights, I think, when McCarthy looks back, he's like, wow, I could have made this fight a lot easier by doing more of what I'm doing here in round 6.
Yeah, but you know what it is, too, champ? It's hard to step up to a guy when he's got all his energy. I think you maybe notice Schwartzberg fading a little bit, take your chances and take more of a chance.
I think a lot of that fading is because of the power punches from
body shots, right?
Yeah, and body shots. Yeah, he's been smart with that since round 1.
Well, in the gym, you find defeat in victory, right? You won, but here are the things you have to improve. There will be lessons because of this fight, but still an impressive win for the young man from Ireland.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about that impressive uppercut. There it is. And especially when the southpaw stance, we saw Tyson Fury using that against Usyk. The southpaw a lot of times can be susceptible to a right uppercut from the orthodox fighter. And there we saw another example of it. McCarthy finding that opening.
Yeah, Champ, you mentioned the punch variation. We started to see that toward the end of the fight, and it gave Schwartzberg a ton of trouble.
See early on, we talked about it. McCarthy just couldn't miss the right hands, and really over the course of the fight, he landed his good share of right hands and a knockdown with a jab. But Schwartzberg, great chin, continued to fight, continued to make life very difficult for this young prospect McCarthy, and made him work a solid 6 rounds tonight. Great experience for McCarthy against a guy like Schwartzberg.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't give a round to Schwartzberg, even though you saw blood from the nose a few rounds earlier, but it just wasn't enough for me. McCarthy looked very, very good throughout, stayed within himself, great balance, good power punching, went back to that jab consistently, and Schwartzberg's just one of those guys, man. He's super tough, he's durable, he makes you fight. These are learning fights.
And these are the ones you want your fighter to have, right? I mean, he got 6 solid rounds in where he had to think. It wasn't just handed to him. And it looks like he's going to go on his way to be a 2-0 after this.
I like when fighters get rounds early on in their career.
But rounds where they've got to work. You know? Like, this is nice work where you got to think your way through it.
Well, Jim Sorensen will make it official. Let's hear the scorecards.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let's give these gentlemen a round of applause. What a fantastic show. And after 6 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Joe Ware scores this bout 59-54. And judges Tito Wilgo and Braden Jackson score this bout 60-53 for your winner by unanimous decision and still undefeated
No surprise there. One judge gave 1 round to Ryan Schwartzberg. Rest to Brandon McCarthy. An excellent performance, only his 2nd pro fight. He showed discipline, showed technique, all of the things you want a young fighter to have moving forward. We saw that on display tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And he, like I said, he stayed very much within himself. He's very poised. Only a 2nd pro fight, but obviously you see all that amateur background, all that technique, all that boxing IQ was on display tonight.
Room for improvement. What do you see? You're his coach. What are you improving, Paulie, when you look at this fight?
You know what? Solid, experienced fight. Maybe I'd tell him use some feints, change some of the looks that your opposition is giving you. If he's being awkward, maybe throw off that timing a little bit with some feints of your own. I'd also make sure I compliment him his use of the jab. He was getting, like I said, he was getting his head off center when he threw right hands. I think overall it was a solid performance. Just being more alert defensively, maybe not try so hard to look for the power shots all the time. Consistency with the jab. It was a good jab, but you wanted more consistent. But overall, positive. You want a guy to have these rounds.
Well, that's the thing in ProBox TV. You know, maybe an undefeated fighter, maybe coming up, you're going to get tough fights very, very soon. He's got to know that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they know what they have in terms of their talent and their prospect. They wouldn't bring him here if they didn't, because they know these fights are going to be hard. I'm sure they did their homework and watched Ryan Schwartzberg. Not an easy out for anybody, especially with only 2 fights.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is you had an amateur who wanted to make the Olympics, making the shift to his pro debut, looking to move forward in his career. Well, in our main event, a very seasoned pro, Vladimir Hernandez, short notice, but that doesn't bother him. He's with our own Beatriz Callis.
Vladimir Hernandez, uno de los protagonistas del evento estelar de esta noche, one of the main fighters of the main event of the evening. Vladimir, ya tienes 35 años y una victoria esta noche pudiera drásticamente cambiar la ruta de tu carrera boxística. Y no solo eso, aceptaste esta pelea con muy poco tiempo de antelación. You're 35 years old, and a win tonight could potentially change your boxing career. And you also took this fight with a very short period of time. ¿Cómo ha sido tu preparación para este duelo en tan poco tiempo? How's your preparation for this bout in such a short period of time?
De hecho, yo tenía 6 meses preparándome para una pelea anterior. Desgraciadamente fue cancelada, pero me seguí preparando Y en eso me hablaron para esta pelea una semana para si la tomaba y les dije que sí porque sé que estoy preparado. Me preparé 6 meses. Vengo listo y estamos listos para lo que venga.
I was preparing for 6 months for a fight that was canceled, and I kept preparing, and then I got the call 1 week before to do this fight, and I took it because I feel that I'm ready to win this bout. Vladimir, sé que no has tenido mucho tiempo de estudiar a tu oponente, pero ¿qué opinas de él? I know that you didn't have a lot of time to study your opponent, but what do you think about your opponent?
Es un peleador que se mueve bien en el ring, trabaja las piernas bien, usa muy bien su distancia y contragolpea bien, pero sí lo hemos estudiado bien, tenemos un plan de boxeo y espero que salga todo bien arriba del ring.
We have a plan designed to win this bout, and I think I have a great opponent, but I'm ready to win tonight. The main event in ProBox TV. Back to you.
Guido Schramm, that's right, in our main event versus Vladimir Hernandez. He's going to be at 156 pounds. It's about the awkward style versus the pressure and volume. But coming up next, that's right, the Haitian Olympian looking to keep his record perfect against the very tough Pachino Hill when we come back to ProBox TV.
June 28th, live from the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C., WBA Super Featherweight World Champion Lamont Roach Jr. will defend his title against undefeated challenger, fearless Fergal McCrory of Ireland. Catch all the action live in Washington, D.C. on ProBox TV, or even better, download the ProBox TV app.
Welcome back inside the ProBox TV Event Center. We are ringside. Jimmy Smith, Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi. Look, we've been spoiled here at ProBox TV. Every week it seems we have a fight that is Fight of the Year worthy. But we missed out on one. Dmitry Bivol, Artur Beterbiev. When it got canceled, depression all around in the room. But it looks like it has been rescheduled. It has been rescheduled for later this year. So that fight we were looking forward to. All right, two guys who walk forward, gigantic for the weight class, excellent punchers, the two best in the division will collide. But looking at the tactics, looking at the science, looking at what's coming up, our own ESPN broadcasting analyst, Tim Bradley, broke it down for us on ProBox TV. Here he is. Check it out.
It's going to be a great fight. I still think that Beterbiev poses a tougher threat than the guy that Bivol just faced. The jab. That's what stood out to me from Bivol. And the fact that the IQ as well. I mean, Bivol is a guy that he's a lot smaller than these guys, but he can push you back. You know, I remember when he fought against Ramirez, Gilberto Ramirez, a while back, and he came in the ring, I think it was like 200-something pounds. And he was able to bag him up. He was able to bag him up and break him down systematically. So I wonder if he's going to do the same thing against Beterbiev, man. Does he have that ability? He has great defense, a great jab, good footwork. He can make him fall short at times, but he can also press on the gas if need be, and put him in a state to where he's not used to. Beterbiev is a guy that likes to be in control. Yes, he's gotten better. Yes, he's starting to fight off his back foot. But I think that Bivol will be able to pour it on him, man, and push him back even more now. And so I thought this performance was decent. Now, some guys, I've been reading comments, they said it wasn't a great performance. I thought it was a great performance.
Welcome back to ringside. We just had a fighter who was short of his Olympic dream due to injury. That was Brandon McCarthy. Now, Darrelle Valsaint lived his Olympic dream, represented Haiti in the Olympics, 10-0, 8 knockouts. Definitely the complete package so far in his career, champ.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, speed, power, technique. He switches sides. He fights equally good, lefty or righty. He has knockout power in both hands. Very exciting fighter to watch. Really looking forward to what he can do tonight with a very tough opponent in front of him.
Yeah, Pachino Hill has fought 7 undefeated fighters, including this one. He likes that role of the spoiler. You got to be mentally tough.
It's not anything new for him. Valsaint, though, has been impressive on his run-ups thus far in his pro career. Things have slowed down a little bit for him. He wants to get back consistently, fighting consistently, because when he fights, he's been rather impressive. We'll see against Pachino Hill, who, again, like you said, is a guy who has experience against this kind of opponent, so he will be undaunted.
He is technical, he is tactical, he is powerful. We'll see what the Haitian Olympian can do in the ring. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. You see both guys 6 feet tall for the middleweight division. Slight reach advantage for Valsaint. We've seen previous fights where he is so much taller, he has so much more reach. That won't be the case tonight. Physically, he's looking in the mirror. Jim Sorensen, get us started for this middleweight showdown.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ProBox TV. We are about to get started with our next fight of the evening. This one is scheduled for 8 rounds in the middleweight division. Your judges for this fight, Jed O'Connor, Joe Ware, and Tito Wilgo. And the third man in the ring is your referee, Emil Lombardi. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the red and black trunks. He weighed in at 159 pounds. His record, 8 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws, with 6 wins by knockout. He represents Davenport, Iowa. Please welcome Chino TSA Hill. Opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he wears the red and gold trunks. He weighed in at 160 pounds even. He is undefeated. His record, 10 wins with 8 big wins by knockout. From Orlando, Florida, please give a Florida welcome to Darrelle Valsaint.
Hey guys, you know the rules in the locker room, right? Expect a good, clean fight out of both of them. Pay close attention to my commands. Touch them up, wait for the bell.
You were wondering who would have the crowd behind them, all those screams. Last Valsaint. He is loved here. Huge Haitian population here in Florida.
And also, I think he's from nearby Orlando, right? So
from Orlando.
Family's just an hour away.
And here we are, round number 1. Valsaint looking like the taller man, although they are the same height. He's in the gold and red.
Yeah, I thought that, Jimmy, when you said they were the same height. I was like, I don't know about that.
It's not how tall you are, it's how tall you fight.
Yeah, and Valsaint does fight tall. He fights tall, he fights long. I think he's with something like a 74.5-inch reach. Very, very tall, long for middleweight. Great build for boxing.
Sometimes they just take your word for it.
Pachino Hill in the red and black. Yeah, I remember they used to put Mike Tyson's height and you're like, he's not that tall. I've met him in real life. Nice. Valsaint right now starting out fast.
Yeah, he's rocked.
We talked about power punches. He's throwing them early.
Good, hard, heavy shots. We can hear these ringside, they're thudding blows.
And you see how that stutter step feint, you close that gap by just a little bit so you can get more leverage on the shots when he did close the gap. And nice little salvo from Valsaint to start this fight out in the first minute.
Yeah, we spoke about awareness in the opener with McCarthy, the big amateur pedigree that he has. Valsaint, you see that as well. I mean, his ability to change range, be aware, and he's also twitchy on top of that. Very, very good athletic maneuvers there for Valsaint early in round 1.
Last time out, a knockout in round number 1. He has a tendency to get it done early.
Oh, good body shot.
Combination to the body.
Good body shot.
It's knocked down to the front. Halfway through round number 1. 6, 7, 8.
That was a very sneaky left hook to the liver.
That right hand landed very well, and I think it took away his attention away completely from that hook to the body.
He's still thinking about it.
Not getting up with confidence is Pachino Hill.
Oh, chopping right hand from Valsaint as well.
Oh, the body shot. And that's the thing about Valsaint, he punches on the way in and he punches on the way out. It's that kind of athleticism that you were talking about, champ.
Yeah, He's got great balance. He sets that wide stance with that tall frame that he has and delivers a tremendous amount of power and leverage with those shots.
Another minute left to go in round number 1.
Pachino Hill finds himself trying to survive here in the first round so far.
Valsaint doing a good job of making the ring very small. He's keeping Pachino Hill where he wants him.
Pachino Hill, you can see what he's thinking. I got to protect my ribs, but don't want to get hit upstairs with power punches.
Valsaint's looking for a 1-2 and a McRib here. Oh, good left hook upstairs. Oh, back to the body again.
Pachino Hill just looking to make it another 30 seconds to the end of the round.
Hill's tough, hanging in there.
Yeah, you see Hill the last couple of salvos, he tried to catch Valsaint on the way out. Didn't really land it, but at least he's trying to think through here. He's getting out of this first round.
He looks to be in less pain than he was earlier. That first left hook really put him in a bad way.
10 seconds left to go. What has been an assault from the Haitian Olympian. Another knockdown.
Knee touch.
4, 5, look at me. 6, 7. You all right?
Surprised the ref didn't warn him there, turning his back, even though he's talking to his corner. You're not really supposed to do that.
That is the end of round number 1.
30 seconds. Hey. He got my confidence already, man.
Fuck that. Well, then get it back.
Come on, let's do it.
Nigga, if we go out, we're going to go out, but go out fighting, though.
Go out.
We got more fighting you than that. Let's go.
No, come on,
Let's go. Where your mouthpiece at?
Doesn't get a whole lot better in round number 1 than 2 knockdowns.
Now we're going to see this beautiful, that 1-2 and that left hook to the liver. Very, very sneaky shot. Like you said, Champ, that right hand landed well.
I didn't see the body shot because I was in my mind I would say, oh, good right hand. And you guys caught the body shot. Perfect team effort, guys, because I would not have realized the body shot landed so well. You guys didn't mention.
That's why I said a 1-2 and a McRib.
You got to patent that, by the way. A little partnership with McDonald's, something.
Well, give it to Valsaint. He's the one fighting.
Yeah, and he's the one using it.
Yeah.
Valsaint right now seeing everything go his way. And gentlemen, I didn't like what I was seeing in the corner. Look at his corner trying to kind of talk Hill into getting back out there and finding his rhythm.
Yeah, they were trying to their buddies trying to tell him, you okay, you're gonna lose, but go out fighting.
Hill looked like he was saying, like, man, wow, this guy, he hurt me. Yeah, I don't know, he's good.
And the interesting thing is his short say, I'm built for this. I think he was questioning that after the body shot.
Beautiful left hook.
That leaping left hook from Valsaint has been the issue since round 1. He's catching Hill right on the ear, right around the glove. Hill does not have defense for that, and it seems to be affecting him every time it lands.
After 2 knockdowns, do not expect a patient referee if Valsaint turns it on.
Valsaint showing great poise and very, very good explosiveness from the outside, picking his punches beautifully.
I don't know, man. It's like, we've seen Valsaint several times. It's like he's fighting angry tonight or something, I don't know. It's like it's a bit of a chip on his shoulder, a little bit more of a mean streak. He's always a very athletic, solid boxer, really impressive, but I just see a bit more of a mean streak in him in his entire approach tonight.
You're right, Champ. There seems to be just more on the punch tonight.
And even before the fight, just his approach at the stare down during the introductions, it was just no frills.
Another beautiful body shot.
And listen, not being active will do that to a young fighter. I remember being mad all the time when I couldn't get fights or fights fell through or I was hurt, whatever. But Valsaint's taking that on his opponent here tonight.
Another good body shot. Body attack is sneaking in, and Pachino Hill just can't find an answer anywhere.
I mean, the offensive salvos that he's showing, he's really showing a variety of punches. Great punch selection. Everything's landing with power. I mentioned he's equally powerful with his right hand and his left hook, and you're seeing that here.
Yeah, well, that's the fighting out of both stances. Have trained both hands very, very well.
We didn't see any southpaw from him tonight. He hasn't needed it, but
body shot.
He'll see the knees buckle as soon as that body shot landed. The referee's got to be thinking about stepping in if there's another combination here.
I think the corner should be looking at him too, especially after the conversation they had in between rounds 1 and 2.
So far, that's a different knockdown of the fight. This might be it.
5. He looks frustrated almost, but it's not the will, it's the skill. He's just not good enough to be in there right now.
Just doesn't have the answer.
And he wants to come back and fight. 20 seconds left in round number 2.
Valsaint looks like he's coming out here to make a statement, and he certainly has thus far, looking to get that finish.
These body shots are like brutal.
Just as you said, champ, the will is there, the skill, different planet.
No answer. I'd be surprised if this goes to the third.
You gonna fight? If you don't fight, I'm telling you, I'm gonna step in. Huh?
Right here, he got it. Keep trying.
Huh?
You keep trying, but it's on you.
You wanna go out?
Yeah, I'm not going out of my corner. What the fuck?
Well, then don't talk like that then. It's time to fight then.
Okay.
No. Don't do that. Right, I'm gonna watch you. I'm not gonna let you get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. He ain't hurt me. You beat my ass.
Fight him then.
Man.
You're waiting for him to punch every time. You know what I'm saying? He's already bet. He's getting you on all that. Just fight. Let's go. Fuck that. You need some more air.
Very honest corner. Both from both coach and fighter.
Honest you have a fighter in the middle of in between rounds say he bad, because he is.
Honest conversation. That's usually the conversation you have afterwards, not during.
Well, but I mean, Hill's got a lot of experience. He's been in with some really tough guys. You know, and that's what makes this fight so interesting, because he has been in with tough fighters.
Robert Daniels Jr. was 10-1, knocked him off, but come on, work out. Skill disparity has been too much in this fight so far. Oh! Solid places. That's got to be it. Thought he just
sneaky shot.
No, you've had enough.
That is it. A knockout in round number 3.
And a body shot knockdowns with both hands. That was a right hand uppercut to the solar plexus after the body shot knockdown to the left hook. I'm telling you, you're giving me Mike McCallum feelings. Mike McCallum
body snatcher.
Mike McCallum vibes here, man. Because it's not the first time we have seen a solid body attack from Valsaint, but as good as it has been in the past, tonight's body attack was even better. I mean, he was creating the openings in the crevices and just landing damaging shots.
Great call about Mike McCallum, too, because he's got the same build, that very long, strong.
It was actually a left. I lied. It wasn't the right. He switched southpaw and threw the uppercut on the inside.
See that motion with the hand? I thought he was telling his corner throwing the towel. That's what I thought he was doing, but
yeah, well, he did say between rounds, he bad. Well, and then you go back out there and he finds the opening again.
Not wrong. It was a domination from start to finish in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, and consistent body. I mean, consistent everything from Valsaint. I mean, Blast was really on point tonight. He looked like we mentioned from the top. He looked like he had a different attitude coming to the ring tonight. He wanted to make a statement, and I believe he did. He's got a guy in front of him who's very durable. He's gone rounds and beaten some tough guys, and he had nothing, no answer, and literally was telling his corners like, man, he's bad. He's got it.
Gentlemen, we've all been there. We're in the ring or on the mat with somebody who's just better, and we're just like, all right. That was the case tonight.
And you just, that was essentially what Hill was feeling, and it's a bad feeling. It's just like, I can remember fighting Sean Porter, our own Sean Porter, and my friends told me afterwards, I didn't realize it. I was walking back to the corner after round 3, shaking my head, like, and I must have been thinking, like, damn. But I don't remember doing that. I guess it was showing on my body with my body language, you know?
Yeah, but the skill, you talked about yourself, Paul, the skill package that Blast brought tonight, he looked fantastic.
Yeah, top to bottom. I mean,
it's everything, though. It's not just the skill. It's the physical talent, the gifts, the size, the poise, the athleticism, the amateur background, all together.
Put it all together, Jim Sorensen, make it official. It was incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 36 seconds of the third round, this fight comes to a stop for your winner by knockout and still undefeated, Darrelle Blast Valsaint!
Another impressive performance. 11-0 now, 9 knockouts. But Paul, I think you called it from the beginning. Tonight, he just had an edge that was incredible.
Yeah, there was and the champ said, Chris, I mean, a little bit of chip on his shoulder, almost like he was angry. He wanted to make a point tonight, and I think he proved his point.
Yeah, but Chris, he never let that anger make him less technical. He just seemed unbelievably sharp.
There was no holes in his offense either. I mean, it was a flawless performance, flawless victory. You know, like back in what was that?
Mortal Kombat. We all played it.
Video games, yeah. Again, we're dating ourselves.
And Street Fighter, perfect.
and we will say it perfect. That is exactly what we're looking for in our main event. Guido Schramm stepping in. Been looking forward to this for a long time. The fighter from Argentina is with our own Beatrice Callis. Let's see what he has to say about this late notice change in opponent.
Guido Manuel Schramm, one of the fighters of the main event of the evening, uno de los pugilistas del evento estelar de esta noche. Guido, estaba supuesto enfrentarte al ruso Razaf Butaev, pero Butaev se lesionó. You were supposed to fight against the Russian Butaev, but he got injured. Now, you have a fighter that has a different technique, tiene una técnica diferente porque es zurdo. ¿Cuáles fueron los ajustes que hiciste en tu preparación para esta pelea en tan poco tiempo? How was your preparation and the adjustments that you did to this fight in such a short period of time?
Bueno, primero que nada, hola. Butaev se para de zurdo también. Estuvimos trabajando con zurdos. Estuvimos trabajando 6 meses de campamento con zurdos y derecho porque Butaev se para a la mitad de la pelea de zurdo. Así que hubo que en los últimos 2 sparring ajustar un poco el tema de hacer más sparring solamente con zurdos. Y el plan de pelea sigue siendo el mismo, salir a ganar.
I have the same plan, which is winning, but I have to adjust a little bit the game plan, because my opponent is a southpaw opponent, but I still think that I'm ready and prepared to win this fight. Vienes de perder tu último duelo, Sean. ¿Qué significaría para ti una victoria esta noche? What does it mean for you to win this bout tonight in the main event of the evening?
No, una alegría inmensa para mí, para todo mi equipo. Trabajamos muy duro, venimos de perder, pero a veces uno aprende más de una derrota que de una victoria, así que aprendimos mucho de esta pelea que pasó y hoy van a ver un nuevo Manuel.
We learned a lot from our last fight that we lost, and I'm sure that today you're going to see a new me, so I'm ready for this fight. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Well, the co-main events have been outstanding last few times out here on ProBox TV. No exception tonight. It's going to be a huge showdown in the super middleweight division. 8 rounds between 2 undefeated fighters. Get your smocks ready when we come back to ProBox TV. Don't go anywhere.
June 28th. Live from the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C., WBA Super Featherweight World Champion Lamont Roach Jr. will defend his title against undefeated challenger, fearless Fergal McCrory of Ireland. Catch all the action live in Washington, D.C. on ProBox TV, or even better, download the ProBox TV app.
How you doing, champ? You all right? You got it?
Welcome back inside the ProBox TV Event Center. We are ringside and ready to go for what is going to be a great co-main event. Also have a very special guest here you see at the end. That's right, Lamont Roach Jr. has got water sprayed on me. Lamont Roach Jr. defending his title on ProBox TV June 28th. Thanks for joining us, champ.
Hey, man, thanks for having me.
It's been great having you. It's been great having all this action. It's easy to call the fights when they go out there and throw everything. That's what these two guys are going to do. 6-0 6-0, both of them. This is ProBox TV. Usually 6-0. They get a little pad. Not these guys. They're both undefeated, champ.
Yeah, no, they're here to utilize this platform for what a lot of fighters before them have done, but they understand what they got to bring to the table. They got to fight.
And as a manager, you got confidence in your prospect. Yeah. You put him in on ProBox TV with basically a guy who's his mirror image. You know, 6-0 against 6-0 here. You don't usually see guys tested this quickly, this fast, this early in their pro career. But as a manager, you got to really have some belief in your fighter and, of course, the fighter himself.
They do. Well, let's get it started. It's a showdown in our co-main event. Jim, let's go. And here it is, our tale of the tape. 25 versus 26. Slight height advantage for Gonzalez. Slight reach advantage to Al Stanton. Talk about the frustration, Chris, of having to wait for fights. Al Stanton's been waiting 2 years to get in the ring to this point. He says, this is the opportunity of my young career. Neither man is going to step back in this super middleweight showdown. Jim, get us started.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, your co-main event of the evening. This fight will take place over 8 rounds in the super middleweight division. And your judges, Braden Jackson, Jed O'Connor, and Joe Ware. And the third man in the ring is your referee, Christopher Young. Introducing to you first. He fights out of the blue corner. He wears the black trunks with red trim. He weighed in at 171 pounds. He is undefeated. His record, 6 wins, with 3 of those wins by knockout. From Las Vegas, Nevada, please welcome Al TNT Stanton. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He wears the black trunks. He weighed in at 173 pounds. He is also undefeated. His record, 6 wins with 4 wins by knockout. He is from Hialeah, Florida. Give it up for Abel El Jefe Gonzalez.
Okay, Jim, both of y'all choices are kind of high, so everything up here I'm considered legal, everything over here I'm considered legal. You see the instructions in the dressing room. Expect tough, clean fight, get my commands all the time, protect yourselves all the time. Touch them up.
You said it, Paulie, a mirror image of one another stepping into the ring tonight, both undefeated at 6-0.
Come on, Jimmy, you got to say it. Somebody's O
has got to go, right? We got to say it. It's a boxing thing.
Blue corner, you ready? Bam!
We're underway, round number 1.
Oh, nice stiff jab right away.
Starting off with a good jab.
That's been the key so far to Abel Gonzalez's success. He's not the busiest puncher in the world, but a good jabber to set up his power punches.
A good jabber will make you less busy because you're trying to get around it. You know, a lot of times it'll shut down your output as well.
They're both exchanging jabs right now. Trying to. Oh,
good body shots.
Talking about the power punches, champ. They're there.
Yeah.
Wasting no time here in round 1 is Abel Gonzalez getting right to it, working behind that jab, setting up right hands on the top, and coming back with body shots.
This is what you typically get with 2 undefeated guys early in their pro careers. Both guys are young in their mid-20s. They got that youth excitement. They both have that confidence of having an undefeated record. Want to get off to those guys quick start. Good right hand, Gonzalez.
Oh, there's a good right hand on top. He's hurt. He's hurt again. Oh, that's a knockdown. Glove touched the ground. Yeah, man, they're getting it in.
Oh, man.
Oh, he might get up, though. He might get up.
Hard knockdown. Stanton's tough, man. He's up.
I don't think he makes it out.
Abel looking to finish. He can't miss it.
Oh. Damn. Very emphatic win for him.
And I get that Stanton wanted to continue, but he took another right hand after getting up, and his legs buckled. You've got to show the referee you're capable of being in there. In that moment, because he went down so hard on the knockdown, it's imperative you show the referee. He's giving you the grace to continue. You show the referee. You should have just held or something, because I get he was still good at it, but his legs buckled like that. The referee can't reach you out. There's no way to be able. He's got to stop it.
Body can get a brief respite, but that was not the case. That was the one that was the beginning of the end. Beautiful right hand.
And that's what it is. He went down so hard on that shot.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of referees might have stopped it right there. That's how hard he went down. So the fact that the referee let you get up, let you continue, it's important because he's not a mind reader. It's important you show the referee that you're okay. First thing that happens when Gonzalez comes across the ring, he hits you with another clean right hand. His legs buckled. I mean, the referee is trying to give you all the chances he can give you. Either you don't take that right hand or you hold something. I get Stanton wanted to continue, but he wasn't showing he was ready.
Yeah, that comes with experience. I think that he should have definitely held. He should have been able to defend himself better than he did when he got hit with that clean right hand, because like you said, the ref doesn't know what's going on. The last thing he remembers is you going down because you were hurt.
And the referee, actually, you know, I give credit to the referee because he gave him a chance. A lot of referees would knock down that hard. Look how hard he goes down. I mean, he went down like a sack of potatoes, bro. Just, I mean, dude, a lot of referees would stop that. So I credit the referee for actually giving him that chance, but give something back to the referee. Give something back to the referee.
No defense for that right hand. He had two right after he got up. Okay, the ref, I don't think the ref did a bad job.
Yeah, I don't blame the ref at all.
Abel Stanton 2 years off. It looked like Gonzalez went after him like, look, I'm not giving you a chance to warm up.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to get your legs underneath you. It looked like that was the strategy.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He came out, like I said, with a good jab, and he started off aggressive. Obviously, he knows he has some pop with him, and as soon as he hit him clean, man, he hurt him.
Yeah, fighters had time off. They need a round or two to maybe warm up. That was not on the cards tonight. Gonzalez, strategy-wise, he was there.
Yeah, they dug in, man. Buffet style, man. They went right at it.
It was all you can eat for Abel Gonzalez tonight. Jim Sorensen will make it official with this early knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at 2 minutes into the first round, and referee Christopher Young stops this fight. For your winner by technical knockout and still undefeated, Abel El Jefe Gonzalez.
Unbelievable performance from Abel Gonzalez, moving to 7-0 with a devastating performance here at ProBox TV. Absolutely incredible. We knew about his power punch. We knew about his jab. Both were on display, and both were on display early, champ.
Yeah, he came right up with a hard jab. He was very, very stiff with that jab early on, used that height and reach advantage, and really just put it all together. Right hands, left hooks, body shots, and once he found that right hand, he did not leave it alone.
Start out with power, never let your opponent adjust, but it's going to be a quick uphill climb here on ProBox TV. He's ready for that next level guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You better start fast.
Start fast every time because people are going to be ready for that power when he comes back. We still have a main event to go at 156 pounds when we come back. Don't go anywhere here on ProBox TV.
June 28th. Live from the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C., WBA Super Featherweight World Champion Lamont Roach Jr. will defend his title against undefeated challenger, Fearless Fergal McCrory of Ireland. Catch Watch all the action live in Washington, D.C. on ProBox TV, or even better, download the ProBox TV app.
Welcome back to ringside here at ProBox TV. And that's right, you know who it is. Jimmy Smith alongside Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi, and Lamont Roach Jr. The champ at the end of the table. He's defending his title. That's right, he is defending June 28th. You're on ProBox TV, our championship fight. Listen, Lamont, what's it like after a knockout like that? You're fighting in 21 days, right? Start getting that juice. How does it feel to be ringside right now, man?
Man, it feels great, man. I'm getting that itch. Like, I want to get in the ring right now.
Champ, is this your first time at a ProBox TV event?
This is my first time at a ProBox event.
What do you think so far?
Man, it's crazy. It's intimate. The crowd is very into it, and it takes two to put on a show like that.
And that's what we love. We love these even matchups that we love to make, and that's why you talk about it takes two. A lot of times it takes two, and then we get the right two. I mean, these matchups.
It takes a village to make these matchups, though. You know,
yes,
great matchmakers.
definitely.
It takes two to make a thing go right. What's that old saying? I hate myself. So talking about your fight, June 28th, what do you think of your dance partner, Irish fighter? We had one on earlier tonight, man. They come to get it, always aggressive. What's your thought of that matchup and the style explosion that's going to happen there?
I just think it's going to be a big explosion, man, because like I said, Fergal, he's coming to fight. He's coming to fight, and I'm not backing down at all. I'm going to show him what I got in my toolbox, and once the toolbox is prepared to tune him up, he might go away.
That hometown crowd, talk about the intimacy here, the crowd, the energy they bring, and they bring it every single time. You're fighting at home. Washington, D.C., that is your neck of the woods. Great fighters out of there. What's that like, that homecoming and the energy it's going to give you?
Man, the energy it's going to give me is just going to bring me, it's going to bring, the crowd is just going to be so into it, and I try not to let that feed into my fight game, but, you know, it's you hear it. You're human, so you're going to hear it. But once I know I got them on the line, or once I know that, I mean, the crowd is up on their feet, it's time to finish them, or it's about to be that time. I know for sure. And it's just going to be crazy. The energy is just going to be pumping, pumping, pumping. Just like how this is intimate, I think by the time the main event comes on, when I come on, it's going to be like no seats in their seats.
And I tell you what, Jim, you know, that dream, being able to come home, not everybody gets to come home with the championship. You got to go where the politics take you. The fact that you're able to come home with the championship and defend it, really, really big for a moment in your career. It's the kind of things that, you know, fighters, one of the things that fighters kind of trying to dream about.
Yeah. I'm so thankful for ProBox, man. This partnership, I'm just grateful that they allowed me to come home and defend in front of my friends, my family, and everyone else who enjoys to see me fight.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Chad.
I was going to say, I got to imagine that everybody you've ever met is going to be at this fight.
Yeah, definitely. Just from Instagram, from social media, from life, anything, school. They be like, hey, I went to school with you, man. I come to your fight. And that's how.
Like, you bullied me. You know, I'm going to see you ringside, right? Everybody's your friend once you're the champ.
As long as they buy a ticket, whatever.
Mike,
yes.
Well, I'm curious, in our main event tonight, it's Guido Schramm versus Vladimir Hernandez. He took this fight late notice. He's always in shape. He took the fight late notice. Those dues-paying moments, right? Take a late notice fight, maybe go to somebody else's hometown. What's it like to finally be in that side where you're like, okay, I know who I'm fighting. I'm getting a full camp. Do you feel like you paid the dues to get where you are? Those dues-paying days, those dues-paying fights get you there.
Yeah, definitely. But I think I was fortunate enough to sign with a big promoter straight out of the amateurs. So I've always known, for the most part, if I didn't get a last-minute opponent, who I was fighting and for how long. I've always had full camps and stuff like that. So I am grateful for the work that I did put in. I was able to sign with Golden Boy straight out of the amateurs. So I was on big cards, and my first fight was at home on the championship fight, Bernal Hopkins versus Beibut Shumanov, and Paulie fought that night too.
Didn't get a good result that night.
Hey,
was better for Lamont.
The pockets was real good.
That's what matters, right?
But he saw the prices.
But this idea of on the way up, we've seen it here on ProBox TV a lot because we have even matchups. Guys like, oh, I got this guy. He's 5-1. Nope, they always come out here to fight. What's it like with the experience you've had? You can't overlook anyone. Is it hard to tell people in the gym. Look, you got to train hard for everybody.
Oh yeah, definitely. I tell the guys that are coming up under me all the time that you can't overlook anyone, because to get where you're going, you got to take care of what's in front of you. As for me, I'm a world champion, so of course there's a target on my back. People want to work as hard as they can to get what they want from me, which is my title. So I can't let up all the gas or anything.
Junior, Virgil McQuarrie, June 28th. Get your tickets now. Entertainment and Sports Arena, Washington, D.C. It is the champ, 24-1-1, taking on the Irish challenger, 16-0, 8 knockouts coming to bring it. It is going to be a fantastic fight. We can't wait to see it. Thank you so much for sharing your vision with us, champ. We got one more fight. Main event. You want to stick around for us?
Hey, of course I do. I like this guy right here.
It's a good seat here.
Yeah.
We will see what the odds are. If you got time to place a bet real quick, ringside champ, if you want, the odds on this one, we will check them out. It is Guido Schramm plus 120. Vladimir Hernandez, minus 150 in this fight. What do you think of those odds, champ?
So I don't know much about Guido, but I have seen Vladimir fight plenty of times.
He upsets guys.
He upsets guys, yes. He upset a lot of guys, honestly. So
you don't look at the record. The record goes out the window with Hernandez.
I've worked his fights before, and he said in fighter meetings, listen, at this stage of my career, I'm a fitness guy. I run, I swim, I lift weights, whether I have a fight or I don't. Doesn't matter, this is short notice. This man's in shape.
You know where fighters come from? Mexico and Stockton, California. That's what we have. Vladimir Hernandez, shout out to the 209. Can't wait to get it started in our main event. Jim Sorensen, get it going.
And he slaps tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, your time for your main event of the evening. This fight is scheduled for 10 rounds in the super welterweight division. Your judges for this fight, Tito Wilgo, Bratton Jackson, and Jed O'Connor. And your referee in charge is Emil Lombardi. Introducing to you first, he fights out of the blue corner. He wears the red and gold trunks. He weighed in at 156.2 pounds. His record, 14 wins, 6 losses with 6 wins by knockout. From Stockton, California, by way of Colonia, Alvaro Obregón, Ciudad Lerdo, Durango, Mexico. Make some noise for Vladimir 24K Hernandez. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, he wears the gold and blue trunks. He weighed in at 155.8 pounds. His record, 16 wins, just 2 losses with 9 wins by knockout. From Los Angeles, California, give it up for Guido Emmanuel Schramm.
Okay, we went over the rules in the locker room, all right? Expect a good, clean fight out of both of you. Pay close attention to my commands, touch them up, and wait for the bell.
And we are ready to go. Round number 1 of our main event. Guido Schramm versus Vladimir Hernandez. Throw the short notice out the window.
Time.
Hernandez, as the champ said, always fit. We'll see how his fitness holds up. Round number 1.
Got Argentina versus Mexico, classic mesh of styles and two fighting countries.
I hate to be the one to tell you this, you being, Argentine and everything, it's the country Latin America loves to hate. So just be ready for that in this fight.
Like you're telling me.
Hernandez in the red and gold, Schramm in the gold and blue. No surprise there.
And already we see everything that we were speaking about at the top of this show. You see Hernandez coming forward, putting pressure. You see Schramm, who actually put himself on the ropes there a little bit, but has sneaky attacks. He's able to throw offbeat punches that find their home.
Yeah, Paulie, we talked a lot about that tendency. Schramm tends to put himself against the ropes.
Yeah, and Hernandez, that's right where Hernandez wants him, you know? So in this particular case, if Schramm is going to put himself on the ropes and he's going to move around, he's got to mix it up with those shots just like that one too, right, champ?
Yeah, I think so. I think he should use his jab because Vlad can do this all night. He can punch all night, especially if you're on the ropes. He can punch all night, so I don't think that's the best place for him. But if he sneaks those shots in there, able to get away, defend himself on the ropes, he may be fine.
Yeah, I feel like it's important with the movement, something we brought out before at the top of the show. He's got to use those punches with that movement. He can't just be that movement where you think you're going to confuse a guy like Hernandez, because Hernandez doesn't care. He'll just keep bringing it to you.
Yeah, I'm surprised Hernandez is actually able to
nice right hand.
To put leather on Schramm so early here, even if he's just touching him on the inside.
It could be, as you said, champ, just faith in his conditioning.
Body shot.
Shot by Hernandez. And who knows, also Schramm may be saying, I don't want this guy chasing me around all 10 rounds. Maybe I got to stand my ground early so I can get him off me late. The body shot there by Schramm.
I can tell that's probably the game plan because he's thumping to the body. He's going hard to the body, so maybe he's trying to take something out of Vlad.
I'll tell you, both these guys hit much harder than their records allude to. They don't have a lot of knockouts, but we can hear them ringside. These are heavy shots.
Lamont,
that left hand hurt.
Shot from Hernandez.
That left hand hurt. He's trying to fight through it.
And Hernandez keep moving his hands.
A quicker fight than a lot of people expected from the start.
Myself included. I remember, hey, Jimmy, at the fight you asked me, like, when are we going to know how this fight's going to be? Round one.
Yeah. Exactly right, champ.
Round one.
I will never doubt you again. Great stuff. Hernandez, what a lot of fighters call, the lunch pail kind of guy, right? Just works hard, comes at you, but he's throwing leather early.
Yeah. But Hernandez just lets those hands go, man. He gets you coming in, he gets you coming out, just like that.
Yeah, he just pecks. He just pecks all night, and then when he sees something, he does throw something hard.
Nothing fancy. He just gets there.
Yeah, exactly, gets there all the while moving his feet towards you, cutting you off, putting you in that mental pressure as well as that physical pressure. Good uppercut on the inside.
He's catching Schramm a lot when he's pulling out.
So far, it's been a Hernandez kind of fight, putting pressure forward.
Yeah, I like that shot.
So far in round number one.
Oh.
Deceptive power in this fight, much like the man Lamont Roach Jr. joining us right here at ringside, but we'll see him again June 28th defending his WBA World Super Featherweight title against the undefeated Virgil McCrory. Same deal, champ. I mean, you hit harder than your record would indicate. That's what we're seeing so far in round number one. A lot more power punches than we expected.
Yeah, definitely. From both of the guys, though, honestly.
Absolutely.
All right, round number two. Vladimir Hernandez versus Guido Schramm.
He's coming out on the bouncies, and now he's like using the jab, trying to distract Vlad.
And that's what we've seen from the past from Guido when he had him on our air. He's a good mover, he's athletic, he fires from that lateral movement. But this is where Hernandez likes his opponents to be. Puts their back on the ropes and lets those numbers run up.
Paulie, I asked you about that in the beginning of the fight. When we were breaking this one down, can Schramm throw enough power to back Hernandez off? He's certainly trying to do that.
I tell you what, though, if you're Schramm, you're not known as a big puncher, right? I think the punches have to be snappy off the movement, and it has to be smoothly flow off the movement. What we're seeing Schramm doing is he's moving, but then he kind of stops to load up, and it's not smooth off the kind of fight you're fighting. It's not smooth off the movement you're giving. So it's a bit more telegraphed that way. When you're a mover and you're deceptive in that way, let the punches come out smoothly with snap.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just like it's not coming off natural, like he's actually trying hard to punch hard.
Yeah, and Hernandez is going to see that, and he can prepare for that, and he can partially block those. And
that's one thing about Hernandez. He stays very calm and poised. Stays in the pocket, very calm, letting his hands go. Doesn't mind when punches are coming back at him, just like that. Stays pushing, putting pressure on his man.
Flash of heads in there, too. They're banging.
That also doesn't bother Hernandez.
Last time out against Johan Gonzalez, Schramm, Good fight, competitive fight, entertaining fight. But
I thought Schramm looked very good in that
Yeah,
fight.
he looked very good, but Gonzalez, with his power punching a little too much, especially with his physical pressure. The problem is, if we thought Schramm would control rounds, we thought they'd be early. Well, it turns out Hernandez starting off very, very strong.
Well, I mean, listen, you're coming on short notice. You know, maybe you want to start early so you can bank some rounds just in case you do run out of gas. You know, Vladimir is a veteran. He's been in there with some tip-top guys, and he's gone 10 rounds before.
Said it a million times. He's a guy who plays the role of the spoiler well.
At range, Hernandez is love to get his hands off. He'll keep moving his hands. So Schramm, if he's going to be at this range, he's got to be busy.
Yeah, definitely. He's putting himself in Vlad's range, and he's just letting his hands go.
And it's not something we brought a lot of attention to, but Hernandez is the southpaw, so those punches are coming from different angles. So even though he's just letting his hands go, doesn't fight like a traditional southpaw. Definitely not slick, but those punches are coming from angles that you might not see.
I tell you what, though, from what I'm seeing from Schramm, and I know it's still early, but if you're not a big puncher and it's coming to the point where you have to fight your guy away from you, it's not going to work. You're going to have to beat a pressure guy in different ways than having to physically just fight him off. Obviously, it's a fight. You're going to fight, but you want to be able to outsmart him, outmaneuver him. If Schramm has to fight Vladimir Hernandez off all 10 rounds, it's going to be a tough night.
He's doing it really well here at the end of round 2. Is Schramm.
I was just about to ask if you guys know that Schramm has a gas tank right now. That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, Gonzalez,
at this pace,
fought to the end. Yeah, Gonzalez, he fought to the end, but this is a different guy.
This is a different guy, different pressure, and different power, too. Gonzalez is a power puncher. Those guys let you rest at times because they want to rest. Power punchers always like to recharge their power. Hernandez is not that guy. He's not a power puncher. He does not let you rest. He wants to put the pressure and break you.
And Chris, you were a wrestler as well. You're also a kickboxer. There is clinch work. Carrying a guy's weight will wear you out in 2 seconds. And Hernandez so far so good at making Schramm kind of carry his weight against the ropes.
Yeah, I mean, you got a guy who's moving. That's a good thing to do, is put some extra weight on his legs. Although Schramm had a really good end of that round, like you said, Champy. What he needs to do, he actually started to do. He was punching in the middle with Hernandez, who was landing some nice clean shots.
Lamont, with the best in the world, it's not hit and move. It's not hit or move. It's hit and move. You do both at the same time, right?
Yeah, you definitely have to be able to do both. And I think Schramm can do a good job. I think he just needs to stop loading up and maybe score. I don't know if he wants to assert himself with Vlad, but Vlad is known to have a good chin. So, see, let's score like that. That's good.
Good right hand from Schramm.
And then back to the jab and at distance.
Yes, definitely.
This is the fight for Schramm here. This is the fight for Hernandez there.
See what adjustments are made here in round number 3. Both fighters kind of know what they're dealing with.
That's a good uppercut on the inside.
That's one thing Schramm did show in that last fight with Gonzalez, a good chin, because Gonzalez is a very good puncher, and he did take some shots, especially in the middle to late rounds.
Hernandez is a solid position fighter. He looks to get in position. He doesn't overcommit to defense when you do throw at him. He tries to keep that pressure on you physically and mentally.
And he doesn't overshoot his shots either.
Yeah, he doesn't get over his skis, so to speak. He doesn't get his head too far over. Even though he's a pressure come forward guy, he still has good balance.
You see how he maintains his distance even though he's close? That was a good shot by Guido. But Vlad is still scoring.
Yep, against the undefeated prospect, Lorenzo Simpson. You could see in that fight that Simpson was like, what is it going to take to get this guy off me? And it never happened. Schramm has to figure that out. He won that fight by majority decision.
Yeah, I actually called that fight with Lorenzo Simpson.
That was the one where you saw it in the fighter meeting and you were like, oh.
I saw that it was Hernandez, and I said, this is way too early for Truck's career. I actually figured that Fernandez was going to win that fight. Hernandez.
Yeah, Truck's a good talent. I think the same. I think it was too early for him.
Too early, yeah. Way too much experience.
But you saw late in that fight, Simpson almost giving that, like, God, what is it going to take to get some space from this guy?
Honestly, that's every single person who's fought Hernandez up until this point.
But that's why you can't be trying to fight these guys off of you. You see what Schramm...
that was a good stiff right.
Schramm's approach is he's either moving all the way over or he stays still and tries to block on the glove. You need to have that in between against a guy like Hernandez where you control it even if it's at a fast pace, because here you see what Schramm's doing. He's either fighting fully, he's at 100, or he's at 0 trying to block on the ropes.
Right.
You need this. You need a middle gear here against Hernandez, or he's going to be too comfortable.
And even at 100, he's not really separating himself from Hernandez.
Hernandez is still in there. Yeah, you can't really fight at 100 all the time either. Not to mention,
good left hand from the southpaw Hernandez.
Hernandez, a couple moments ago, landed a really nice straight left hand to the liver, which from the southpaw position is a dangerous, nasty punch.
Schramm does really good when he gets off first. It's just a matter of if he lets Vlad get return fire. See how he has him on defense? That's the perfect thing to be, the perfect thing to do against Vlad.
But to your point, in that position, Paulie, a lot of movement, only one punch.
Yeah. And now you let him get back. Ooh,
nice shot to punctuate round number 3.
Schramm's mouthpiece out.
Yep, Schramm's mouthpiece is out.
A fight has broken out, gentlemen.
I would have let the referee get that.
Welcome back. Our main event, round 4, about to begin. The champ Lamont pointed out, mouthpiece went onto the floor at the end of round number 3.
Yeah, but right before that, Schramm landed a beautiful left hook right there. Bang, big shot. Probably the biggest punch that he's landed so far tonight. But then the mouthpiece slipped out.
Mouthpiece came out when
he didn't get hit. That's crazy.
He was breathing out, I think, from punching.
And to your point, champ, I'm surprised he actually picked it up himself. You don't really see a fighter do that with his gloves on.
Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on with that.
Let the referee who has gloves on handle it. We begin round number 4. Guido Schramm in the blue and gold, the fighter from Argentina, taking on Vladimir Hernandez in the red and gold, Mexico via Stockton.
I think Schramm should flash a jab or two instead of just pawing with it.
There's a little trench warfare here, man.
Yeah.
A little headbutting, a little holding and hitting. Loading up.
Oh, good body shot. That was a good body shot.
Nice right hook over the top as well from the southpaw.
And again, you're going to be in Hernandez's kitchen. You got to decide if you're going to decide to fight a Mexican fighter like this. You got to decide at the beginning of the fight. Am I really ready to fight this pace the whole fight? Because once you don't let sleeping dogs lie, now you gotta fight the whole time because they're not gonna stop.
Schramm is tough, man. He got hit with a really, really big left hook to the liver in the middle of punching too. When you're stretched out, those hurt the most, and he came right back.
Oh, good right hand.
These guys are living up to ProBox standards.
Oh, good body.
It is a phone booth fight from both of these gentlemen. Wondering if Schramm would engage in this, and he is.
Schramm's doing a good job, man. He's taking those shots well. If he stays the aggressor right here, he should bank this round. And if he doesn't want to fight, he should get out.
Yeah, to your point, champ, I'm actually surprised. Schramm's a much better inside fighter than I expected.
Yes.
Especially against a guy like Hernandez.
Certainly no hesitation to engage, forehead to forehead. Oh, beautiful uppercut.
Yeah, he got hit with that because he's standing still.
Battle of wills here.
You know, it looks to me like the game plan for Schramm is to outlast the guy who took the fight on 2 weeks' notice. He's, I'm going to stand with you, I'm going to make you work, and then fight you on the inside.
But Jim, you said Hernandez is a fitness trainer, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say it was the right game plan, but it seems like that's what the game plan is.
And another thing to keep in mind when you're fighting a fighter's kind of fight, they seem to have a ton of gas, right? Because they're used to this kind of fight. Yeah. Fighters get tired when you make them fight a different kind of fight.
Exactly.
Hernandez hasn't had to do that.
And that's what I was saying at the beginning of the fight. If the fight turns into the
they both hit each other.
If you're forced to fight, if Hernandez forces Schramm to fight this kind of fight, it doesn't necessarily mean that Schramm definitely loses the fight, but his path to victory becomes that much more complicated.
Yeah. Let's see. You know, Schramm's actually looking really good here.
He is, though, and the good thing about it that I noticed that it's not that he's getting visibly tired or anything.
No, his conditioning looks really good right now.
He doesn't need to give this round up, though. If he gets his round up, that's not good.
Unbelievable fight so far. I wonder if we'd see those adjustments in round number 4, and we did.
Beautiful shot.
Very good shot.
Good exchange. This guy's really loading up on the inside as well. Good sneak uppercut there by Hernandez.
You notice when Schramm was doing his best work is when he had Vladimir on his back foot.
Yes. Vladimir's not used to being there, and he's not as effective on his own back foot. He likes you're back against him.
And that's typical of pressure fighters. When you're backing them up, you know, guys, pressure fighters are punchers. Most of the time, they lose a little bit of their natural ability.
So far only able to get Hernandez out of his comfort zone in spurts, right? Mostly it's been a forehead-to-forehead kind of fight. Hernandez's specialty.
How about ProBox TV? You got a 2-week late replacement, and he comes in and puts on a great show. We're only in round 5.
So far, fantastic. Halfway through. Beginning of round number 5, scheduled for 10.
The only thing Schramm is missing really is a good stiff jab.
Hasn't really been able to keep the distance. A little difficult, you know, opposite stances. Sometimes the jab isn't quite as effective, but you're right, champ. He hasn't really been able to use it as well as he has in previous fights.
Yes, because you see when he gets off first, he's able to land good shots. That was a good hook. Oh, and a left hook.
I feel like Hernandez's punches are more natural when they come out. Schramm is like visibly loading up.
Yes.
Schramm's like, man, get off of me! Every shot he throws.
Just good shot. Like yes.
While Hernandez is more like, yeah, this is me. This is what I do, you know?
Volume, wear you down. Death of 1,000 cuts.
But also, Schramm shots are very eye-catching. Very visible. You can see them. Hernandez much more subtle with those shots.
And you don't know how the judges are scoring it. They're scoring those big blows or not.
This is not an easy fight to score. These guys are fighting a nip-tuck kind of fight.
And another thing you can score is the real estate. And so far, Hernandez has been controlling the real estate in this fight.
And Schramm does get hit on the out sometimes, you know, which is also eye-catching because getting carried.
Body language comes in.
One thing Schramm has not done so far is overlook this last-minute replacement. He has fought hard the entire time, but so has Hernandez. You pointed it out over and over, champ, that this guy is in great shape. His style requires it.
Yeah, he comes to fight. But also with Schramm, I mean, not overlooking Hernandez. You know, he was coming in here to fight Butayev, who's a monster. He was training for a very, very tough opponent, and then he had a very, very tough replacement. So I don't think it really changes the mindset for Schramm. Like, he's going to get complacent with the guy he has in front of him.
Good uppercut by Schramm on the inside, but good return by
Yeah. Good two-way action, guys. I mean, this is, again, ProBox TV, dig in, right?
And he's never hit Hernandez hard enough to back him off. He'll take the shot, take the uppercut, but to your point, Lamont, he's right back in answering with punches.
Yes. And that's the thing about Hernandez. He's a position fighter in that he doesn't bust position even defensively. You see Schramm at times will bust position being all over the place. Hernandez, you hit him or not, he doesn't bust position. He tries to, so it keeps that mental pressure on you as well as physical.
But at times, even when Schramm does bust position, he uses it to land offense. He throws some weird punches from places that you can't see, and then he cracks you with a big eye-catching shot. Like that. Even though that punch was partially blocked, it looked much bigger and better than it was.
Midway point of this fight so far, nobody's slowing down or backing off. Welcome to round number 6, and what has so far been a war of attrition, pretty much what we expected, gentlemen. It's about heart and guts, a little bit about technique as well.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a really fun fight. You know, we expected a war, but, I mean, these guys are really having no problem.
And you talk about the loading up shots, right, champ? That's the one, the eye-catching shots.
Very
eye-catching.
We begin round number 6. They're picking up right where they left off. We're halfway through. I couldn't tell you who is winning this fight. It's about what the judges value. The real estate controlled by Hernandez. Done some good work on the inside, but Schramm champ, you've said it, eye-catching punches. Those big shots, he's landed them well.
Both guys showing fantastic chins. Really good beards.
I tell you what else hurts you. A good head of hair when it's filled with water. You get hit.
The sweat is going everywhere.
That sweat, that's also eye-catching, unfortunately.
Yeah. I've mentioned that so many times on air. As like guys when they have longer hair, I'm like, it just makes it
just like that.
It looks so much more dramatic when you get hit with shots, even with punches that don't land. You get that spray.
Chris, I know you're humble bragging about your luscious hair, but it tactically it doesn't always work for you.
No, that's why I kept it short when I fought. You know, it's a little longer now.
You know what's surprising to me? That was the first clinch that was actually broken by the ref.
Yeah, both of these guys are allergic to clinches too.
Yeah, good body shot.
That's a great point, champ. It's been a clean fight so far.
Well, I wouldn't say clean, Jimmy. Yeah, but the headbutts, maybe the referee hasn't seen.
They've accepted the headbutts.
Yeah, the headbutts have become part of the flow. Because there's headbutts in a lot of these inside exchanges.
These guys are warriors. They don't even know a ref's in there.
Yeah, and you know what? It's lefty versus righty, so at that close range, a lot of times the clashes of heads happen so much on accident.
And also the movement and the head movement of Schramm, and you got Hernandez who's pushing forward all the time. Head clashes. Yeah.
Gentlemen, they're not supposed to, but when you talk to referees, they'll go, look, you both want a headbutt? Fine. You know what I mean? It's something they've both been doing. Okay, fine.
That's something I learned when the pros, you know.
Right.
It's going to happen.
There was one fight when I first started dealing with that. I'm looking at the referee like, dude, what? And he's looking back at me like, what do you want? So I guess I'm not there. I'm not going to talk about it. We'll just deal with it.
So like I said, good right hand.
Good shot again.
Another one.
I was also going to say that was the first time I saw Hernandez taking a deep breath as he stepped back and then got cracked with a big overhand shot.
See how he has Hernandez on defense? He should have just kept advantage of that. He had him on the corner. See, now he's coming back with punches.
And a sharp shot on the inside by Hernandez, backs off Schramm.
Yeah, again, short and subtle from Hernandez.
Schramm initiated a clinch there. Is he tiring, guys?
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, after round 5, after the halfway point, that's when those 2-week notice is going to take. I don't care what kind of fitness guy you are, 10 rounds is 10 rounds. A 10-round fight, there's no kind of conditioning like that if you're not preparing for it 8, 9, 10 weeks getting ready.
And this is Schramm again. Schramm's looking to grab and it breaks a little bit.
Also, 2-week notice, you don't know how much struggle Hernandez had to make the weight. Yeah. And that's an important factor as well.
But like you said, he's a fitness instructor, so maybe he was close to the weight.
But you said it, Chris, that maybe he was banking rounds early, knowing he might fade a little bit late. We could be seeing that.
Schramm's getting a little tired because his exits are, his hands are down.
And like I said, he's the one initiating the clinches now.
Yeah.
Oh! Big left hand there.
I told you. Oh, my God.
This might be over.
He's going to get up.
He will not. It is over. Unbelievable performance from Vladimir Hernandez.
Wow. Schramm's still trying to convince him he's all right.
Yeah, it's over.
Face down, one and done.
And he walked into it. He was trying to punch and he was going that way. Again, you don't go to the left against don't go to your right against a southpaw.
No.
Sometimes it can work, but not in punching range. In punching range, you're gonna notice in the replay, Schramm threw a shot. I don't remember exactly when I see it on the replay, but then he was shifting over to his own right, which is right towards the left of Hernandez. Hernandez kind of looped it, and man, right on the button, double impact. He's going into it.
Wild,
Let's take a look at it. Here it is.
Hernandez was landing this left hand all night long, so one right there. And then here comes that big shot. Oh, too tall.
He's shifting over, too tall, champ. Good point. He's up high. He's shifting over to his right while throwing that left.
Yeah, that was showing how it was. I was telling you how he was getting tired and exiting with his hands down.
Champ, that's a great point. As you get tired, you start getting taller. Your legs don't want to get down. You don't want to drop your butt anymore. You get taller.
And your fundamentals. Your fundamentals. Lamont was talking about his hands are starting to get lower. It's fundamentals. At long range, you can get away with bad fundamentals, but at short range, you got to have it. And remember, we talked about the ability to punch and move. You got to have the ability to punch and move means do it responsibly. Yes. Schramm did not do it responsibly there, and he walked right into a monster shot, which he never saw coming because he was looking at his own left hook as he was trying to throw it. So he's looking at the target of what he's trying to hit, and he never sees the shot he walks into.
You made that great point earlier. Schramm looked like he was trying to hit hard. That's what that looked like right there. He was trying to land that shot. Hernandez doing what he's doing all night long, just getting the punches there. And Schramm actually knocked himself out. He ran into that shot.
What did we say about spoilers? What did we say about ProBox TV? What do we say about Hernandez's ability
what do we say about
the fight around?
What do we say about don't look at his record? Don't look at his record.
Don't look at his record.
Unbelievable performance from Vladimir Hernandez.
And we mentioned these guys are much better punchers than their records say. You just saw one of the best highlight reel knockouts you're going to see all year long.
And that pressure created that knockout eventually. You know, all that pressure he brings on, the discomfort he makes. Pressure, you know, when they say pressure busts pipes, they mean that the pressure in a fight creates mistakes on its own. You don't have to set them up. Just your pressure a lot of times will create errors and mistakes from the fatigue, and that's what we ended up here with tonight.
I mean, guys, we had a great fight. Action-packed, two-way action. Both these guys very evenly matched up. Amazing that Vladimir Hernandez took this fight on 2 weeks' notice. Came in, started early, but Schramm started to find his rhythm, started landing some really good shots himself. Eye-catching shots, big looping shots, great movement. His conditioning was starting to show. Here we see Hernandez letting those hands go, as he's known to do. Fantastic stuff early on, all the way throughout. I mean, these guys are going tit for tat. I would not have wanted to be a judge tonight if this did reach the 10th round.
I'm curious how the judges scored this.
It emphatically did not.
Yes.
We went from we got fights of the year candidates on ProBox TV.
Knockouts
knockout of the year candidate. That's a knockout of the year candidate, guys.
All right, that was beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good shot.
Unbelievable in the fight. You know, the back half of the fight, when you start thinking, I've got
and you see right there, he walked into it too. That was the shot he got hit with before.
Yep.
Gentlemen, had it gotten to the point where Schramm thought, all right, I know how hard this guy hits, that he maybe underestimated the power at that point?
I don't know.
I don't know. That shot landed right on the money.
And he didn't see it either.
Yes.
He's looking at his own left hook. You see, he's trying to throw his own left hook, shifting over. He's looking at the target he's trying to hit. He's not seeing what's coming back.
And
see?
also,
Never saw it.
As you get later in a fight, as you tire, your chin changes.
Yes, your resistance.
Yeah. So you need to be conscious of a guy's power no matter what.
Attrition that ended in an unbelievable finish. We got a little of everything in this main event. Absolutely incredible work. Guido Schramm disappointed. He fought one hell of a fight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they both did. It was a fantastic fight, back and forth stuff. Spoiler, spoil. That's what they do.
But this is a man we want to see again. Vladimir Hernandez. Get your opportunity. The ball comes at you. You hit the home run, and you will be back here on ProBox TV. Cannot wait to see this fighter. Mexico, Stockton. We brought both of those places into the ring tonight. All heart. Jim Sorensen will make it official in what is an amazing knockout here on ProBox TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, tell these warriors what you thought of this fight! Folks, at 2 minutes, 59 seconds of round number 6, this fight comes to a close for your winner by knockout, Vladimir 24K Hernandez!
It doesn't get a whole lot better. You don't have more heart than going to war on 2 weeks' notice. And then getting the face-down one-shot knockout. This fight had everything. Guido Schramm, of course, disappointed. He has nothing to be ashamed about. An incredibly entertaining fight tonight, but Vladimir Hernandez showing guts, heart, and punching power. Paulie, that's not easy to do.
Nah, not at all. But for Vladimir Hernandez, it's par for the course, man. I mean, he steps in, takes fights on short notice, replacement opponent, takes on tough fights in general, even when he's not a replacement opponent. Never daunted, shows up undaunted, doesn't care what the reputation of the guy in front of him is. We've seen him beat even better fighter than Schramm in the past, and tonight he beat a rather talented Schramm.
We talked about endurance. We talked about punching volume. He added a wrinkle tonight. Speaking of knockouts, incredible knockout power to add to his list. His next opponent will go, yeah, you know, he can punch, he can get inside, and he can also finish you.
Well, Jimmy, you said a home run swing. Hey, sometimes you don't have to swing that hard. You just got to hit it just right. And Vladimir hit it just right tonight.
Well, we will have more for sure when we come back to ProBox TV, including information about our next fight here on ProBox TV, a world title affair. We'll talk about it when we come back.
28, live from the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C., WBA Super Featherweight World Champion Lamont Roach Jr. will defend his title against undefeated challenger, fearless Fergal McCrory of Ireland. Catch all the action live in Washington, D.C. on ProBox TV, or even better, download the ProBox TV app.
Welcome back inside the ProBox TV Event Center. It has been another amazing card, another perhaps knockout of the year. Incredible stuff. Face down in our main event, Jimmy Smith alongside Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi, and Lamont Roach Jr. A great knockout. Lamont, I asked you before how you feel about the jitters right now, the energy going into your June 28th fight. Seeing a knockout like that, man, must make you want to get in there right now.
Man, definitely. But one thing I have to say, this is exactly why I'm a boxing fan. Outside of me boxing, man, this is crazy. That was a great fight and a great finish. As far as me, I hope I could do the same thing.
Exactly. It's that ability to put pressure on and then switch gears. It surprised everyone. We expected the first part, right? We expected the endurance, we expected the volume, but that ability to put a man down, face down with one shot. Chris, that was a little surprising in this fight.
It was, but not if you really watch the fight, the way that they were exchanging and how much they were able to land the leather. I said that right away. I was like, wow, I'm surprised Hernandez is able to put leather on Schramm so early. And it's just, they got more and more comfortable standing in the pocket and trading shots and landing big eye-catching shots. And then, as we said, as the conditioning started to wane with Schramm, he started to get a little taller, started to lose his technique, his balance, and got cracked with that shot.
It's one of those where every fight is an audition. Every fight is you want to see this person again. Vladimir Hernandez, I want to see him on our next card. As soon as he's healed up, I want to see him.
He's always must-see TV. You know, like I said, he's created the upset. He's caused the tough fights on fighters that he wasn't supposed to beat. He's beaten them. Even when they do beat him, he gives them a tough showing of himself, a good showing of himself. And tonight he showed up once agaagain.
That ability to dig deep, Lamont, I mean, I know you appreciate it from ringside. When you look at something like this, is there anything you go, man, I want to bring that into my game. Man, I want to have that kind of endurance. I want to have that kind of heart, because that was on display in this main event.
Oh, it definitely was, man. And it's a testament to how tough he is. Like you said, he took it on 2 weeks' notice, and to come out with a knockout of the year candidate is crazy. You know, on 2 weeks' notice, it's just a testament to how strong and good-willed that Hernandez is.
You know, champ, you brought up the 2 weeks' notice. That should be a lesson for all you fighters at home. Be ready when that phone call comes. You can have an opportunity like this.
Now, on the other side, Frogo McCoy, your opponent, June 28th, undefeated 16-0, but you're his opportunity. Right, you're his, Hernandez type performance. I can go in there, I can make my name. How's it feel to be on the other side of that and being ready to defend your title? What's that like?
Man, it's a position that I expect myself to be in. So I've been preparing myself for that. Even coming up, you got to think that as coming up as a professional, I was a highly touted prospect. So I still was the A side. I was always somebody's opportunity. If they were to upset me, I would be the guy that's, out of luck. You know what I'm saying? So I've been in there most of my career, almost most of my career.
So you're going to have a guy in front of you who's going to walk forward, bring those, especially those body shots. He throws them very, very well. A long punch. You're smiling when I'm talking about his body work, his ability to do damage.
I can't wait
to see it.
I can't wait. What did Teddy say? I'm going to take him to the butcher shop and cut that fat off.
Teddy Atlas said that on our air about your opponent. He's got a little fat on his punches. And do you see opportunities? A lot of people see aggression. You see opportunities. What opportunities do you see offensively in this fight for you?
Offensively, just to establish my game, show my skills, and turn on the power when I want to. I know that he'll have those openings where I'm able to capitalize, and I'll capitalize with hard shots. I'll be able to move around. I'll be able to dictate the distance, the pace, and everything else. Even though he thinks he's going to walk forward, he's going to walk into some bombs. He's going to rethink himself.
I got to ask you, first time ringside at ProBox TV, this is our typical Wednesday, man. Guys that come in here to win equally matched fights. What's your thought of it? Seeing it ringside now.
Man, I love it, man. I could get used to this. Like I said earlier, it's so intimate, and then it takes two. It takes two.
Come on down. Every 2 weeks, we got you.
Come on down. You got ringside seats anytime, champ. Best of luck to you June 28th. We cannot wait to see it. The energy you bring ringside, man, you're going to bring that in the ring, and we're going to be ringside and get to call it. We'll bring our smocks in case there's any blood coming our way.
Man, thank you. I can't wait to rewatch it so I can hear you guys talk about how good I did.
We will for sure. You earn it, and we will be there. You look good, we'll make you sound great. great.
Thank you, man.
Unbelievable night we had. Of course, when you talk about, some up-and-coming Irishmen, we had one of those in Brandon McCarthy. A tough fight against Ryan Schwartzberg, but he did everything right. Technical, tactical, good punches, good aggression. Missed the Olympics because of an injury, but this is a man who said that my refocusing now on my pro career, I've been able to leave those amateur dreams behind me. He is now 2-0 after an incredible performance. I liked his balance, his timing, his technique. He did a great performance tonight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Not an easy guy in front of him. Schwartzberg, never an easy out for anybody, especially for a guy in his only second pro fight. Nice look for McCrory.
And another man who looked absolutely outstanding, Darrelle Valsaint, of course, the Haitian Olympian. He was on another level tonight. Paulie called it. He had a chip on his shoulder. Seemed a little mad. We saw that in the face of Pachino Hill at the end of this fight.
I mean, listen, like I said, inactivity for a young fighter will do that. He brought that and utilized it in the ring tonight against a very tough, durable guy who had no answers. Blast was on a different level tonight. He showed power in both hands, speed, technique, skills, IQ, offense, defense, you name it, this guy showed it. Incredible performance tonight. Really made a statement against a tough guy.
What did Pachino Hill say in the corner? He bad.
He bad.
And we all agree.
And he got it.
He bad.
He bad and he got it.
Yep. He stayed with it, did the best he could, but had no answer for the technique, the power, the speed, the combinations. Darrelle Valsaint, they call him Blast for a reason, and it wasn't just knockouts to the chin, it was body work from start to finish. Punches to the head can knock you out, shots to the body make you quit.
Yeah, he seasoned them up a little bit at a time, and then he finally stopped them. Body shot here, uppercut there, varied attack, speed, very impressive performance.
Punches like that take the soul out of you.
And that's exactly what happened. Speaking of that,
they were trying to take their soul out of each other in this first round here.
Abel Gonzalez versus Al Stanton, both fighters undefeated, but it was the power of Abel Gonzalez. It was the story of that fight.
Yeah, these guys didn't waste any time getting acquainted early on, right in the first round. Abel came out putting out a stiff jab, long, hard, coming with big right hands, and then did not forget the body either. But once he found a home for that right hand, he kept throwing it. Very, very smart, and there it is. That's when the ref steps in, stops the fight. You see the argument from Stanton, but, I mean, he was definitely very hurt. Got dropped like a sack of potatoes. I think you said that, Jim.
Yeah, and that co-main event, just a warm-up for a main event that was absolutely outstanding. Guido Schramm taking on Vladimir Hernandez. We knew Hernandez would make it a phone booth fight. That's exactly what he did.
Tremendous war until it wasn't.
Yeah.
Great back and forth fight. These guys were not having trouble finding each other either. Awesome fight, a lot of fun, but man, what a finish.
And then Hernandez found Schramm a bit too much.
It was true, searching for him the entire night with Schramm trying to back off Hernandez. Hernandez would not be denied. Great job working inside. You called it, Paulie. You said Schramm needs to find his moments to land big overhands, and he did, but not enough to keep Hernandez at bay. That's what set up the power shot at the end.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're not gonna be able to fight off a guy like Hernandez. If you're fighting a guy like Hernandez and you're trying to literally fight him off of you, it's the wrong game plan. Especially if you're not known as a puncher, you're not gonna be able to get this guy's respect. So you've got to be subtly deceptive. Schramm was so in spots, but he got sucked into the wrong kind of fight.
A guy like Hernandez, man, it's really tough to fight him on air because with him, you got to box him, make it boring, make it smooth, get around him, get away from him, stay away from him. You can't do that here. You got to fight, and a guy like Hernandez loves to fight.
He loves to fight. We knew that, but we didn't know he had this kind of power, twisting the bottle cap right there with that shot. Look at it. Bang, left hand right on the chin, a face-down knockout. Give the credit, the referee credit for counting. Face-down knockout, a lot of times the referee will wave it right off.
Schramm tried to get up. He's got heart of a lion,
Hey,
for
give
sure.
him a chance to get up. Well, I hate when they just stop the fight. At that point, what's 5 more seconds going to do, man? Just count, because I've seen guys get up. And we actually saw it in the previous fight.
Yep.
Giving the ref credit.
What about Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury went down and got up like the Undertaker in the first fight with.
We got a championship fight June 28th, though. That's what I'm talking about.
That's right. He joined us ringside. Lamont Roach Jr. taking on Fergal McCrory. Entertainment and Sports Arena Homecoming, Washington, D.C. See the champ defend his WBA World Super Featherweight title against undefeated Irish opposition. That is going to be a ton of fun. Get your tickets now. Do not miss it on ProBox TV. It is going to be absolutely outstanding. It was a great night of fights. As always, here in ProBox TV, I want to thank all the fans who showed up here at the ProBox TV Event Center, all of you watching at home, and champ Lamont Roach Jr., great stuff joining us ringside. Can't wait to see you fight. And all of us, behind the scenes who make this work. Our producers, everybody ringside, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on ProBox TV.